guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be reviewing the new Fenty Beauty concealer and setting powder today. I'm super excited. So I'm already moisturized my skin. I use the Tula Hydrating Day and Night Cream as my moisturizer, and now I'm going to go in with the foundation first. Just quickly apply this. This is how the concealer looks. It's pretty much identical to the Fenty Beauty packaging as far as the container. It has a long doe foot applicator, and the shade that I got is 310. So 310 is described as medium to tan skin with warm yellow undertones. And I know they were saying on their Instagram that whatever your foundation shade is, that's the shade of concealer you are. But I didn't want a concealer that was my skin tone. I wanted it to be a brighter concealer. I like to use concealer to not only cover but to also highlight. So I didn't get 370 because of that. And the reason why I went so light is because if you've been into the store and you swatched it, 310 and the shade right after it is kind of a jump, like 310 to 320. And so 320 is pretty much like a brown skin tone as opposed to a highlight. It wasn't that bright for me, so that's why I went with 310. So as far as pricing, I wanted to compare it to some other high-end concealers. In the MAC Studio Fix Smooth Wear Concealer, this one you get 0.24 fluid ounces for $22. The Milk Makeup Concealer, you get 0.2 fluid ounces for $28. And the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer, you get 0.23 fluid ounces for $29. And then so in the Fenty Beauty Concealer, you get 0.27 fluid ounces, and it is $26. So I'll put where it falls in those comparisons on the screen so you guys can see. And Fenty Beauty pretty much falls in the average of pricing for the amount of product that you get for other high-end concealers. So I'm gonna apply it how I normally apply concealer. It is going on really smooth, so I really like that. One side of the doe foot applicator seems to go pretty far, like I'm getting my entire face pretty much. And then I'm gonna take a clean brush. This is the Sigma F64 brush, and blend it in exactly how I would blend in my concealer. Now, one thing that I noticed when I used to wear the Fenty foundation a lot is that there are some concealers that don't blend that well with it, but this seems to be blending flawlessly, which would only make sense since this is their concealer. So it is blending in flawlessly even after like the foundation pretty much had set, because I was talking to you guys before I applied it, and I think the shade is perfect for what I would use it for, which is highlighting. I really love the way that this is blending out. It's so nice. Like up close, I don't look cakey or anything. I am going to go around the edges with the foundation brush that I use just to make sure it's seamless. It's blending a little funny on my nose, but it could just be because I do have a little bit of dry skin on my nose from it being cold outside, so it could be that. And now I'm going to go back in with the foundation brush I used and just blend the edges. Okay, now to the setting powder. So I'm super excited about this powder. I love setting powders. I have oily skin, so it's like a necessary part of my base routine is to use a setting powder. I love this packaging. It is so pretty. It looks cute just sitting on like your vanity area when you're doing your makeup. So you unscrew it, then you take off the security tab. It's not security tab. What is it called? The sticky. Take off the sticky. My lights are pretty bright, but it has a FB in there, which stands for, of course, Fenty Beauty. It also comes with a little, like a I don't know the technical term, but like a door. So you can apply this little container thing, I guess, for when you're traveling, right in there, and it protects your powder from getting everywhere just in case your lid comes off. So that's really nice that they have that. So what I like to do with my powders is I put the lid back on it. I just kind of shake it to make the powder come out, because I don't really like to dip it over in the lid because it can get messy. So how it's looking now, it is creasing. You can see when I look up, it is creasing on both sides, more so over here, but on both sides. So I'm going to blend that out before I set. Honestly, that is not out of the ordinary for concealers to crease like that without you setting it with a powder. That's another reason why I really like setting powders, because it prevents the creasing. The scent actually smells like their primer. I haven't watched any reviews, so I'm sure a lot of people are saying that, but yeah, it smells identical to their primer, and I like that smell a lot. I'm also dusting this powder across my smile lines. So that's all the places that I set when I use setting powders, just my T-zone area, as well as the places, basically all the places that I put my concealer. On this side, it is really, really smooth, like flawlessly smooth after applying that powder. This side is a little bit more rugged, but it's not bad at all. It's just a very slight difference, but this side is super flawless. And on my chin, on my forehead, all of those places are flawless. And the powder is very like finely milled, so it isn't like a thick consistency. I actually like the way the foundation, the concealer, and the powder mesh together. It doesn't really feel like I need to use a setting spray or anything like that to make my face look less powdery. I don't look powdery in my opinion. It just looks like a healthy looking base of makeup. So far it looks really good. I'm probably not gonna use any, it's really not setting spray. It's a facial spray that I like to use to just mesh my makeup together and make it look less powdery, but I'm not gonna do that today because I don't think it's necessary. But I am going to finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So I love the concealer and the powder. It is flawless. My skin looks incredibly smooth, and I actually had some texture going on my face before I started, more so to feel, and if makeup got on it you would be able to tell, like the wrong makeup got on it you would be able to tell, but it looks so nice and so smooth. I was actually touching my face because I was trying to see if it was transferring, and there's no transfer whatsoever. Maybe a little bit of highlights like from my cheekbones, but the concealer is not moving, it's not transferring. So I'm actually going to check back in with you guys as soon as I start getting oily. I applied this about 12:30 p.m. I will be back to update you guys so you know the time frame on the concealer and powder. So hey guys, it is 6 o'clock p.m. 5.5 hours ago, and I am starting just now to get oily, and the places that I am getting oily is literally just right next to my nose and on my nose, which is typical for when I start to get oily. That is the first spot that gets oily, as well as on my forehead. But I would say my forehead is just slightly glowy as opposed to being oily. It just looks like a healthy sheen. The wear time is pretty good as far as when you start getting oily. If you have a medium oily skin type and you're not like super oily, this will wear really nice without you having to touch up. Of course, depending on your environment and all of that, and the heat and how hot it is and all of that kind of stuff, but for a regular day, you can get a pretty decent wear of the concealer and powder. So yes, I love it. I mean, first impressions, the concealer and the powder together is like a match made in heaven, but I can't wait to try the concealer with other powders and the powder with other concealers, like mix and matching. So it wears really good if you have like younger eye area. If you have more mature skin, it may be something you just want to see if it works for you, like get a sample or something like that from Sephora to just see if it works for your under eye area. But overall, I mean, it's definitely not a bad concealer. I really like it. I'm gonna keep wearing it, and the powder. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the collection. In fact, let's talk about what we want added. I actually want a setting spray, and I want what was the other thing? I want blushes and bronzers and brow products. I want everything. This is the completed review. I hope this helped you in your decision in purchasing the concealer or powder. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, as well as check out my previous video. I did a review on the new CoverGirl Full Spectrum Matte Ambition Foundation, so go ahead and check that out. And I promise I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.